County Championship Wrestling's flagship station on its flagship channel, the Free Admission Channel. For the gentleman on my left, he is known as the Police of Puns, the Prince of Pomposity, the crucialist of cruciverbalism. He is the icon of iconography. He is Lex Icon.
Thank you. And this is the man who never has a crossword for anyone. He gives him a Sudoku instead. Jonathan Malice.
Hey, how you doing, everybody? Want to give a shout out to all my people who are still with us through this this difficult time, as we are no longer seemingly no longer bound by common sense and a sense of responsibility. Now it's like, what? You don't want to wait inside no more? Go hang out on the beach. What? Oh, you don't want... Some asswipe comes up to me and standing right behind me at the 7-Eleven while I'm trying to buy my Rockstar. As you'll notice, I don't have a Rockstar today. And I'm like, hey, jackass, will you move your ass back? Thank you. And, they sell those masks and whatever. So, while social distancing has become strained a little bit, I'm going to practice it right now. I move a little bit further away from Lex Icon as the show goes on. Lex, how was your week in lockdown?
You know what? I'm lucky enough that that I have some friends who have been doing stuff on Zoom every night, so I'm kind of been doing the Zoom thing.
Oh, okay. Tell us a little bit about the Zoom.
It's basically a multi. It's basically a video conference call. It's like Skyping a bunch of your friends all at once. My friends out in the town of Glendale.
That's Glendale to those of you who are unfamiliar, the uninitiated.
They've been doing some game shows, which you know me, I'm a huge game show geek.
Absolutely, from Match Game to Jeopardy,
tonight
right?
we did Concentration.
Concentration. Now,
yes.
Okay, Concentration.
Yeah.
All right.
So we've been doing that online every night, and other than that, I've been just hanging out. I've been still binge watching Deep Space Nine and UWF. The Bill Watts version of UWF.
You know what? I want to thank you for sending me that link. That was a really nice walk down memory lane. I absolutely... you were right when you said that the UWF was, at the time, the best show going. It was even better than Crockett's deal. The TV show was exciting and fresh.
They had such innovative angles and storylines. I mean, the one I'm currently watching is they had... Freebird, Terry Gordy had their world title.
Sure. He was like their first big title, right? He was the first title holder for UWF.
He was, yeah. He got his arm hurt in a little brawl, and then he was scheduled to face the one-man gang for the title.
And then he wouldn't defend it, and he said, the referee's like, is he not going to defend it? He can't defend it. He's got his arm busted.
Yeah.
And then they awarded it.
They gave the title as by forfeit to one-man gang.
Yeah, I remember that.
Cut to a couple months later, Michael Hayes and Terry Gordy are scheduled to go against Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Terry Taylor, who are the tag champs. One Man Gang and Devastation Incorporated, Skandor Akbar's group, jump Duggan and Taylor on the way to the ring, and Michael Hayes says, "Hey, look, they can't make it. They can't wrestle. Give us the titles."
Right, I remember that.
But then the matchmaker came out and said, "Hey, look, you refused to see the doctor."
Was that John Hart at the time, the ex-football player? Or?
Ken Mantell.
Ken Mantell, okay.
He basically said, when we took the belt off Gordy, he refused to see the doctors. They're back with the doctor now, and if they can wrestle, they'll be here.
Yeah.
So there was levels that it was great.
I'm going to read some of our comments from our vast viewing audience, and I'm just going to take one from hey Fancy Nancy, she's watching. Dustin Lawyer, who is a financial consultant to the show. He says he asks his cats to stay 6 feet away from his lobster at all times, but they don't listen and they get pinched.
Ooh.
Yes. Who knows? Speaking of pinching, all right, pinch me, because I have all kinds of news about JBD. But right now, JBD has some news for us. Our intrepid international correspondent JBD still sheltering in place. Let's hear from him right now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jack Bruce Davidson.
Hello everybody, it's me, it's JBD. I'm here to bring you some exclusive wrestling news.
I don't know if you guys can hear him or not.
Coming from you from
what he's saying is, They
with
can hear him?
Hawaiian shirt,
how come I
as
can't
you
hear
might
him?
have seen before. JBD's Modern World. Here we go.
11
Get
more
right
steps.
to the news. So for story number 1, Cain Velasquez has been released from the WWE. He recently signed a multi-year contract, but was only able to fight one match against Brock Lesnar at the Crown Jewel event, I believe. And he has been on the shelf ever since with injury. I believe he tore his meniscus. I could be wrong. Call me out if I am, but I believe that's the injury. And he was let go from his WWE contract, due to the recent mass releases, probably WWE having not as much money to be able to pay their talent. Here's hoping that Cain Velasquez is off to bigger and better things. All right, and then for our second story of today, Apollo Crews has been forced to pull out of the Money in the Bank event due to an injury he sustained during a match on Raw against Andrade, and it's a knee injury. It doesn't look too severe. It doesn't look like he's going to be out long term. But the good news is that after Money in the Bank, he should be back. And Andrade recently tweeted out an apology to him via Twitter. We don't know if it was a work or not, but it's good to see that he's acknowledging it and basically owning up to his mistakes. Nia Jax. Anyways, so. For our third story, retired wrestler Paige has been helping a wrestling fan by donating them funds via Venmo. Pardon me. So this was due to Paige asking certain fans about their struggles about the pandemic via Twitter, and one of the particular fan let her know about being a single disabled father, and then she reached out to him asking him about his Venmo account, and it's a really cool thing. Basically, her reaching out to wrestling fans. It's truly a class act, especially in this time of crisis where we all need to be there for each other.
Can you take this?
And for our fourth story, WWE has let go of Gerald Briscoe, brother of Jerry Briscoe, who both have worked with the WWE. Gerald Briscoe has worked with the WWE since 1984 and was recently an executive, and basically, due to the current situations, he has been let go, and here's hoping he'll get back on his feet sooner rather than later. And for our final story, Jinder Mahal has returned from injury on Monday Night Raw, defeating Akira Tozawa fairly easily. And this has been the first time we'd seen Jinder since he had a knee surgery, and it's good to see him back, and it's good to see him healthy. So that's it for the news today. I'm JBD, and one quick second. Make sure that we're all being kind to each other. Do your thing. Buy an indie wrestler's t-shirt. Eat a good diet. Practice social distancing. Be good. I'm JBD. I'm all you need.
Well, there you go. Inspired words from a cautious man. JBD was in the middle, I want to say, of that idiocy down there at the Orange Circle today. So I know he was sheltering in place and refusing to come out. I want to give him a shout out and tell you thank you very much for tuning in and letting us know what's going on in the world of wrestling.
Every time I see JBD in one of his shirts, I think he's rolled a Trader Joe's employee.
You don't think he looks like the Magnum PI? Ladies and gentlemen, the man to my left, if you are not familiar, for the uninitiated, as I like to say, he is known the world over as the international fitness guru, the German Richard Simmons. That's right. Only this man can actually bring it. That's right. He doesn't just sing it. Ladies and gentlemen, the two-time Orange County Championship Wrestling heavyweight wrestling champion, Mr. Gusten Thunder Uberstüd. Yay! How you doing?
Good morning, everybody.
Long time no see. I want to tell you, thanks for coming in. I know you were sheltered over there in Germany, and that travel ban kept you from coming in. I want to say it's great to see you. You look fantastic. You even look tan.
Yeah,
The hair is looking good.
Have nothing to do all day but lay out in the sun, and get this golden, crisp, brown, fatty-looking kind of body going on.
Tell us a little bit about what you've been up to, how you handled the lockdown, and what you're looking forward to doing next.
Well, I'm being as cautious as I can, but, trying not to live my life in fear, doing what I need to do and not doing what I don't need to do, trying to stay as active as I can. I had this whole routine set up at the gym that I was going to, which was a power and strength program, and I kept working on it, and then right in the middle, everything just kind of shut down.
Yeah.
And my first reaction was, I'm going to sit on the couch and be grumpy for the next 6 weeks and not do anything. And then I quickly changed my tune and said, all right, time to shift gears, and just started doing a lot of running and body weight exercises.
Sure.
And I think the point of all this is not what my workout routine is, because I'm sure nobody really cares, but that sometimes you're confronted with a situation that's less than desirable and not what you expected, and you just have to adapt, and make the best out of the situation that you have on your hands, and try to turn what looks like a curse
chicken salad
into a gift.
into chicken.
Yeah,
I get you. No, and I appreciate you saying that, because a lot of us have lost work, maybe not lost our jobs, maybe not lost our businesses, but we've lost work, and at a time when business was we had 3 straight sellouts for OCCW.
Mm-hmm.
3 straight.
We were
taking off.
Things were going.
Things were going, and that's not a work. That's the truth. Things were going well. We were picking up steam with the podcast. The dojo itself was doing well, and then this just comes and blindsides us. And now, on the one hand, you want to say, "Damn it," On the other hand, you could look. Every great generation has had to face its great. My grandfather, his generation, they faced the Depression, the World War II, and then the polio epidemic. So it's not like this doesn't happen, and I think for our generation and what we have to deal with, I think that if we just exercise a little of all that toughness and patience and braveness, courage that we're always bragging about, land of the free, home of the brave, right? Mm-hmm. Exercise some of that courage, exercise some of that pride, and sit this out, ride this out. We can do this. I think we'll be proud of ourselves. I think people who are jumping the gun or feeling bad about themselves, sitting there and sulking, or whatever it is, gaining another 50 pounds for no real good reason, getting drunk every night, watching Raw. I'm kidding about the whole watching Raw, but I'm just saying, you know what, you guys, you got to be tougher than that. The people who tune in and watch us, like Carol Michelson, Luther Dansby, Jessica Landau, Bill Chew. How you doing, Bill Chew? It's ironic now, huh? We always made jokes about you not being able to chew, but you had those 6 teeth pulled, and now you're probably gumming yourself to death. I want to tell you guys all, thank you for tuning in, taking a break from your binge watching of what is
Money
that?
Heist.
Monkey what?
Money Heist.
Money Heist.
That's what I've been
what's the
watching,
other one
Money
with
Heist.
the tiger? The Tiger King? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Tiger King.
Yeah, so those of you guys who have taken a break from that to watch.
Can we book him?
I would love to. I'll put him up against you.
Put him up against Carol Baskins.
Carol Baskins. Oh, there you go.
We can book that match.
I'll see what I can do.
I
want to thank you guys for watching.
Baskin Robbins,
Big John Clark is watching. How you doing, John? We miss you too.
That's the rest of society.
Okay. Now, what's the first thing? I always talk, and I'm asking. I'm putting this question to our viewers. I'm putting this question to Lex Icon, and obviously to Gustin. What is the first thing you're going to do when everything opens up? And it's not going to all open up at once, obviously, but when everything is ready, good to go, what's the one thing that you want to do? Well, how about you, Lex?
I think for me, it's going to be a big game night. My apartment, I know we've been stuck inside, but still, we've been stuck inside alone.
Right.
So just have a bunch of people over, have a big board game, video game, game show, blowout. I'm excited about that. And karaoke. Lots of karaoke.
And I'm definitely coming. All right. Gustin. And those of you who are watching, Bill Chew, Paul Stitz, our number one fan, Jessica, John Clark, Carol Michelson, Luther Dansby. What are you going to do? Send it in here. What are you going to do? What are you going to do when they open the doors for you? All right? What are you going to do when this lockout ends? Gustin.
I'm going to get some Starbucks, man.
I think you can still get Starbucks.
No, it's not the same, man. They closed my favorite one.
Right?
Down on Meats and Tustin.
So you just have to go across the street to another one.
It's not the same when you got your routine and you know the faces.
Did you used to go in there and sit down and chill out?
Every morning. That was my first stop and routine. I will tell you this, though. this thing has saved me a lot of money because Starbucks
Right?
used to get a ton of my money.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't go out to eat anymore. I make everything at home.
Yeah,
I don't go to Starbucks anymore. So I'm kind of joking when I say the first thing I'm going to do is go to Starbucks, but I'm kind of not.
That might be what you do. Yeah, I want to go to the movies. I want to go to karaoke.
Yeah,
but sports.
It's a good time to break habits.
Old habits. That's true.
If you have a habit that you're used to and now you can't do it, it might be a good time to nip it in the bud. So again, it's all about finding the silver linings in the darkness.
I'd like to go see a ball game. I want to see
That's
baseball.
true. Yeah,
I don't want to go to a ball game
would be nice.
Yeah.
And you know what? I want to do karaoke. The guys from Gold Coast Federation, Joseph Saint and R.J. Wallace, we're going to get together. We're going to karaoke at the karaoke place down there at, how's it called? Tomcat Lounge. That's right. So we're going to have the OCCW Karaoke Championships that we missed last year. So keep that in mind. We'll announce that real soon.
Maybe I'll bring my computer.
Rocky is watching. Okay, let me tell you a story about Rocky Raquel Lowen. I hope you're still watching, Rocky. Rocky was the first. She was the real life China. And what I say, she was the only one of two women bouncers that I used to work with in a place called Abbotsford, British Columbia, Canada. She was, like I said, the real life China. She was the strong girl.
I'm pretty sure China was real.
Well, you know what I mean. Like she was. Yeah, that's true. She was okay. And she didn't. Well, but she didn't do porn or anything like that. Rock, no, Rock. I love you. I miss you. I can't wait to see you again one day. I see your pictures with your beautiful children, and I just want to wish you and your family the best. I hope they're being smarter up in Canada than they are down here. You know. Much love to you, Rock. Thanks for watching. All right, so we're going to do karaoke. What about you, Robert? Robert hides his identity to protect his family. All right? So what are you going to do when it ends? The lockout.
Nothing. I still do the same exact thing I do.
He's going to stay home and watch porn for 12 hours at a time. All right.
Maybe
I'm going to lock myself down.
maybe on a future episode of The Ramble, I'll bring my computer. We could do a little karaoke on The Ramble.
No. We need a crowd for that. You know what? I'm going to step out for just a minute. I'm going to let you have the show. So I'll be right back.
Well, this is
some technical issues.
Unexpected. Lex, do you want to come back? I mean, I got nobody to talk to over
Sure,
here.
I'll come over.
Or is John coming back?
No, I'm not coming back.
Oh, okay. Lex, come on back.
All right.
Come on back.
So, big man's chair.
So just continuing down the same line that we've been talking about, like finding the good and the bad, and it
I
does.
got the perfect slogan for you for that, by the way.
Okay.
And you'll finish it. You'll know how to finish this when I say it. You can take this time, which is crummy, and turn it into something.
I can't do it.
Do it.
I can't do it. I can't. It's so bad, Lex.
It's so bad. It's good.
Turn it into something yummy.
There you go.
This guy. I think this is a time for pulling out the creative stops, and it is going to have to relax a little bit before we can really be creative, because right now we can't even get within the arm's reach of each other. But I think some of the things that I think this is the time to take what wrestling has always been for the last 100 years and say, okay, well, because I do think there's going to be a little period where we're not going to be able to have 200 people in a building anymore. Right. 200-300 people. We're not going to be able to have that. We might not be able to have anybody, but we might be able to. Gyms might reopen. Training might reopen. Things like that. People will
gradually grow.
I think it'll start coming back. I think in the next month it'll start coming back where we can start doing some things, but not in crowds. And I think that's going to be the time where we kind of take a look at everything that wrestling has been for the past 100 years and say, okay, but what could it be? What else could it be? How else can we deliver this product? Yeah. We don't have a crowd, so what can we do?
Try new match types. Try new
match types. New ways of shooting it. New ways of structuring programming. I mean, you saw the WWE do a little bit of it in WrestleMania.
I mean, they're doing the whole thing what they're doing with Money in the Bank this year.
What are they doing?
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to fill me in on that.
Okay,
one.
so Money in the Bank this year, the Money in the Bank ladder match, the ladder is going to be on top of Titan Towers. On
Really?
top of WWE headquarters.
What are they going to throw someone off the building through a table and through the Spanish announce table?
Maybe, I don't know, but all the wrestlers are starting in the lobby. They're starting on the ground floor, and they have to basically climb the corporate ladder, get up to the top, get up to the roof, and climb the ladder to get the briefcase. It's going to be very interesting to see that.
See, that's what I mean. Like, kind of like thinking outside the box and kind of like
the old elevator race, the escalator races they had on Glow back in the day.
I'm not tracking you, but okay.
Well, you're too young to remember Glow, I think.
Just a little baby.
See, I'm old school and even stupid school, because as much as I love Glow, it was silly. But then again, a lot of puns, and I love puns. So, I think Mr. Malice.
You might say he was a Rapunzel. No?
You might, but you probably wouldn't want to.
Okay. Let's see. Bill Chew was taking a trip to Missouri to his nephew's wedding in September. Right on. So these are things that people are going to do when the lockout ends. John Clark is going to join us there at the Karaoke Championships. Mm-hmm. Luther Dansby says he's going to hopefully start training again. I'll be lighting a candle for you, Luther. Rocky's still watching. Rocky, say something. Tell everybody about how much fun we had throwing people out of Animals Nightclub Bar and Grill.
Rocky, give us all of the dirt. We want to hear all of John's deepest, darkest secrets and expose them right here on the Royal Ramble.
A couple other things we're waiting for this thing to clear up. This week actually was supposed to be the Cauliflower Alley Club reunion.
Yeah.
Which is a big wrestling reunion / it's kind of turned into a fan thing as well. It's where you get to meet a lot of the wrestlers of the past. I've been once, and I've wanted to go back every year since. Just hasn't been financially feasible. But this year, of course, they postponed it till September, as it is now, I believe. And hopefully, I'll be able to go when that happens, and hopefully it won't be canceled. And also, the O. Henry Punoff has been postponed.
The O. Henry Punoff.
Yep,
damn. That's it. I'm not going anywhere this month. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. No, stay there. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I've just been told that we've received some security cam footage from late last night, or I don't know. Go ahead, Robert. What is this?
Roll that beautiful.
Robert doesn't know. Go ahead and roll. I have yet to see what's going on. Gustin, are you familiar with this? What is this?
Oh, look at what we have here. That's our international correspondent. What's he doing in there with Vito Fratelli?
Oh, great.
He's gonna get
you know what?
like a bug.
When he said he needed to borrow the keys to the dojo for something, I thought it was because he was going to do some work. Okay, it looks like they're
Just roll out. Just roll out, JBD. We need you on the show. Oh, my gracious.
getting his ass beat by Vito Fratelli.
You want some of me?
Our referee, the lovely Vicky Victoria.
I'm going to have to assume that this was weeks or maybe months ago, because if this is security footage from last night, there's no way JBD was up this morning recording his
That's true.
segment for the podcast.
I don't know what's going on here. I don't remember all these lights being installed.
Hit him back till I get in.
What's he got?
It looks like a piece of headgear.
Okay.
You see this?
Hey, no objects.
You see this?
Yeah, I see.
This is for you. What's you need a
Well, that's nice of you.
Oh,
Try to protect JBD's
It's a little bit of goodwill. Okay.
Put it on.
All right. A
that
little
also-
bit of goodwill.
so
Probably going to hit him about the head a lot. So
Yeah. In fact,
the spaghetti bending madman may have a heart after all.
Mistake.
Oh, that's what you call the foolishness of youth. You don't hold the horns on
And
the.
there it is. And there's the payoff.
There's the
Right there.
Yeah, that looks like
You want to put it on?
giant flying mastacholi.
Oh boy.
Watch out, JBD.
Mastacholi splash in the corner.
I bet you want it now.
Just like Mama.
I bet you want it now.
come on, Vito, get him on the board.
Oh man,
Good.
that is a hard chop from the.
Veal chop.
It's a hard chop from the civilian assassin. Sicilian.
He should thank him.
He's
That's
a civilian from
tattoo
Sicily.
Right there.
Huge spot. You know, JBD, maybe it wasn't the best idea to lie to me about getting in the ring.
You thought you were ready? Forget about it!
Is that, if I'm not mistaken, this is his first singles match. Is that right, Dustin?
I think that's his debut in the Rumble, the Heartbreak City Rumble. And now he's working on taking Vito Pepperoni to the ground. Stay on him, JBD. Don't turn your back. He's still standing. And that is what you get. That right there.
You ain't got nothing.
The veteran prowess of a guy like Vito. You cannot turn your back.
I ain't done with them. Not yet.
Looks like Vito did.
I would consider it a mistake. You never lift your guy up when you feel easy. But in this situation, Vito and JBD,
Think you can handle Vito for
You know,
the good thing about this is,
Oh my God. Oh, that was just ugly. And that is gonna do it. That is all he needed right there was one power bomb to the ground, and somebody better.
He's JBD, and that's 1, 2, 3. Oh my God! The winner, Vito Fratelli, by pinfall.
Come on, Nicky, get in there. Make sure you can still feel his toes.
Gee whiz.
Good.
Well, there you have it.
oh,
JBD, I applaud you. You know,
I admire your guts. Granted,
Big
they're all over the
debut.
mat now, but still, I admire them.
big debut in the Rumble. You did great there. And then you put up the best fight you possibly could against Vito Fratelli. And as a first match, I say hats off to you. Next time, you know, maybe think about your opponent a little bit harder before you jump on in there. But you did what you could, kid, and you gave him the best fight you could.
And by the way, JBD, I don't remember. Orange County Championship Wrestling does not sanction or promote this match, as we do not know exactly when or where. Well, I can tell you where it took place. It took place in my dojo, but I don't know when because I was not there. So if you guys are sneaking in during this lockout or something like that, I'm very disappointed. And you know, I don't think we should. But we need content, so all right.
Well, you know, I mean, no crowd. There were 3 people in the building. Well,
Sure,
4 if there was a cameraman.
Well, since that
so
was
you
a-
know,
that's his
proper
Social
standards
distancing.
were maintained as far as how many people were gathered, and you know, there's really, except for the majors, WWE, there's not a lot of content out there. For
Why do
wrestling
I
right
get
now,
the
so.
feeling that you're sticking up for them? Is there something you need to tell me?
No, you know, I'm just trying to say. Be
All right, what?
fair
Robert?
about, you know,
What's that?
we got.
Oh, okay.
We got
Robert
some
says
content, so let's,
okay. Let me explain what's going on here. Robert, every night before he resets the video surveillance cameras, he watches. You know, obviously, and fast forward the night before the surveillance video to see if anything's been going on or anything like that. Every now and then, you know, we'll catch a stray rat or someone leaving stuff behind. And apparently people are sneaking in to the dojo. People I've entrusted with the keys to the place are now taking liberties. So Robert says he's got something else on there. Do you know anything about this, Gustin?
No, not a thing. What
Okay.
would I know?
Alexander Vega.
Alexander Vega and Mikey O'Shea. I don't know if they just needed the workout or if someone's putting money on this. And there's the bell.
It had to be Vito because JBD couldn't after that last match.
Right.
Hey, these are two big boys and 2 high-profile people at OCCW.
Once again, Orange County Championship Wrestling does not sanction or promote this match. It is done solely with the consent of the involved and not with the owner. My midsection, big right hands to the back of Alexander Vega.
But at least when these people are sneaking in to have these fights, they have the
Yeah, which tells me that someone's funding this.
Oh, you big piece of garbage!
Oh, big elbow from the corner of Alexander Vega. Big right hand to the jaw, and another for good measure. Cuts him off and puts him on his back. That's a lot of beef flying around that ring. I can tell you.
You want to wake up a sleeping giant?
I've been in the ring with both of those guys. And Mikey is handling Alexander Vega.
Move out of the ring with Alexander Vega. He's not easy to throw around like that.
Mikey O'Shea moves like Chris Farley on steroids. Oh, Vega up to the challenge.
A lot of big, heavy fists flying around the ring in this one. These men have teeth left out.
1, 2,
They're done here.
3.
Big clothesline from Mikey O'Shea, but he looks like he's maybe all this waiting, sheltering in place has got his cardio down a little bit as he's taking his time getting back to his opponent.
Hey, aren't you always making fun of Mr. Bill Chu for not having any teeth?
Yes.
Well, maybe if they get a couple knocked out here, we can donate.
You hear that, Bill Chu? We got some new teeth coming your way. Don't you worry about that.
Doing what we can here at OCCW.
Yeah, so we're
for
taking
our
care of
great
our
fans.
taking care of our friends and fans across the country and around the world. Robin, do we have any other camera shots? I can see who's in the audience so I can figure out who's Mikey O'Shea. Mikey O'Shea. Oh, sidewalk slam from Alexander Vega. Oh, Vega for the cover. 2 count. Someone's yelling 2 from the crowd. Or from the sidelines, I should say. There doesn't seem to be much of a crowd. It's like an amped up wrestling show.
Lex, I bet it was Lex. I bet it, Lex.
Is it you, Lex? Were you there?
I was.
You were not.
Only 2.
I don't know. I just heard that. It almost sounded like someone in there, like.
Come on, baby, get it up 2 feet.
Okay. You're tougher than that
Hey,
guy.
this right here is a high
Just stay
profile.
down this time.
You would have to get a match like this. You would have to pay $20 and come to a live show like this, and we're giving it away for free.
Yes,
This is-
exactly, which
we
does
are
not make me
taking care of our fans.
particularly happy, and I'm not making any money off of this. So for those of you who are watching this and enjoying it, you're paying $20 to see it. See John Della Jr.'s Venmo account. You can
You're spinning it all wrong.
spinning it all wrong. Oh, the Spaghetti Bendy Madman comes into the ring. Mikey O'Shea's tag team partner, Vito Fratelli, jumps Alexander Vega. And Mikey is.
Somebody needs to help them. Somebody needs to help stop this
Oh,
madness.
I don't like this. This is, you know what? I'm gonna have a word with those two.
Uncalled
Shut the referee. Oh, and a
You know what
double
this is?
power
This is a
slam.
holdover from that Lucha Pro mindset. Got jammed into Mikey's head somehow.
Vega's one of our up-and-coming stars. This could be a bad thing for OCCW. Do you have any enemies who do?
Do I have any enemies? I have plenty. What is?
You want to fight?
You said you didn't know anything about this. I think you knew all about this. Do I have some sort of mutiny taking place?
No, this is live action, and I had to run downstairs real quick and take care of
Oh, now Vintage Dragon is in the ring. And your longtime nemesis is facing his longtime friends.
Numbers, come on. Isn't this,
And now,
is this what you want? Huh, Mikey? He wants it. Oh, he wants it. Yeah, you know it. I have the time to know it. Right?
Goose in Ubersuit. You mean to tell me
Whoa,
what
man!
you-
Oh, I just got back from breaking up a really intense
They were not down
fight.
there.
Yeah, man, they were down there, and
No.
I ran down and I saved the day. Don't worry, I ran them all out. Everybody, they're all gone.
This was from
They're
2
gone.
nights ago.
No, gone.
I want to tell you something right now. You guys cannot be I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. What do you think about this?
Do you have a twin brother?
Yes! Fresh in surprise!
Boostin' Uberstood, your brother? Boostin'?
Yes.
He's boosting ratings all over the place?
Hey, you want guys like Vito Pepperoni coming in here and messing up your dojo? You're welcome. I defended this place with honor. I didn't touch anybody. Did you see me? I didn't get within 6 feet of anybody.
Oh, Tom Palo, Chester Ike Arthur, former wrestler from Southern California Championship Wrestling, also known as CIA, is watching the show. Hey, Tom, it's great to hear from you. Maybe come check out one of the shows when we get him back up again. Wow, it's great to... Hey, if you can drag Tim in... Tim was the guy who trained me in wrestling way back in the day, back in the mid-90s. Yeah, good to hear from you, Tom Palo. Rocky's still watching, all right. Let's see, Ricky Rubio is watching. Bob also is watching. How you doing? We didn't see you today. I expect to see you Thursday, Bob. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have to pick up this topic a little bit later off camera because I don't like what's going on here. I have a feeling that people are just kind of like little rats scurrying around.
I was worried that.
Call me a little rat.
How are you going to be in the dojo when there's wrestling matches and not let me know?
I told you I had to save the day.
I was trying to worry that Joseph St. and R.J. Wallace had something to do with that somewhere in there.
Yeah, it could be. Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the portion of our show known as Wrestling Video Game Challenge. Every week, our guests will take on a wrestling game from the past. Last week was Mikey O'Shea with, I forgot what it was, the WWF something or other. This is WrestleFest. For those of you not familiar with WrestleFest, back in the late 80s, early 90s, WrestleFest was the arcade game to play, the wrestling arcade game to play. It had four stations on it. It cost $0.25, and you had your choice of playing the wrestling tag team tournament or the Royal Rumble version. So Gustin, I'm going to ask you right now. Go ahead and pick up that controller there. I'm going to ask you. Would you rather do the battle? Let's go with the tag team tournament, shall we?
Man, this controller has way too many buttons. Where's the Sega controller?
Yeah,
which are buttons, and they all did the same thing.
Which buttons does he?
This left one, the little button right next to the PlayStation symbol, that is the add coin.
He doesn't have a PlayStation symbol.
Or next to that big giant pad in the middle, there's a.
Mine says share.
Yeah, that's the add coins.
Okay.
So add some coins, and the one on the opposite side looks like that. That's your start button. And then these two buttons here are A and B, and that's all you need.
Which one? Which one's A and B?
The ones right here.
Got it.
All right. What are they saying, Robert?
Oh, what a rush!
Let's smash every gerbil-faced geek inside.
We snack on danger
And we dine on death.
Add some coins first, boosting. There you go. And then now you can press start.
Bill Chu says I should find you guys all. I think he's right.
Bill Chu, I wanted to donate teeth to you, and this is the thanks I get.
Victoria Garcia, maybe you could comment as to how you knew to be there during that wrestling match that should not have been taking place while we were sheltering in place.
Who are you going to choose? You got to pick a tag team.
How many of these guys are still alive? Let's see.
I'm picking a tag team.
Well, 4 on that page.
Ultimate Warrior? Let's see.
Ultimate Warrior?
Sorry.
Am I doing a tag team or a
looks like you're in the Battle Royal. You're in the Battle Royal. Another Battle Royal.
Some fools are about to get slammed. Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Got him.
Listen, Uberstood, you are the Ultimate Warrior, and you are getting your ass beat down
How did he do that?
by Road Warrior Animal. Or is it?
Oh, and he's out already.
And you're out. Ladies and gentlemen, you have just witnessed the fastest elimination. Gusten Uberstood, quite the wrestling video
Was that
game
my
hawk. All right.
Santino Marella moment? What the? What just
Therein
happened?
lies the difference between Mikey O'Shea and Gusten Uberstood. Mikey O'Shea clearly was at home playing video games. Gusten Uberstood had been out working.
I was training.
Yes.
Now, granted,
Wasn't trained
this
in my
game was an
thumbs.
arcade game. It was not a home console game, so that's not the right controller for that.
Well,
You need a joystick.
Exactly.
fair enough. Fair enough.
Bring me Royal Rumble Sega Genesis. Bring me that game,
Royal
and I'll
Rumble
throw
Sega-
every fool out with
Yeah, that
Hacksaw
was-
Jim Duggan.
That was last week. We did that one last week.
Oh man, that
Yeah.
was my jam when I was a kid.
Robert,
Hacksaw
can
Jim
you bring
Duggan,
that one
couldn't
up
beat
and we'll
him.
see if we can put his money where his mouth is? The one that Mikey did last week?
Well, not right away, so continue.
Okay. All right. That's it. Those of you who are still watching, let me ask you this. We have wrestling topics, right? We have 3 topics. We have wrestling movies, wrestling biographies, and Dark Side of the Ring. For those of you who've been watching the Dark Side of the Ring while sheltering in place, you know what that's all about. So I am going to pose this topic to this distinguished panel. First is wrestling movies, i.e., what is a wrestling movie? Is it about wrestling? Maybe. Is it a wrestling movie with wrestlers in it? Whatever. If you could look at it and say, yeah, that's a movie that wrestling fans would watch because it has wrestlers in it, that's what I'm talking about. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to ask Gusten Ubersud, your favorite, least favorite, most like whatever, most watched wrestling movie. Robert, can you give us that 1 minute on the clock? And go.
Okay, I'm gonna sing the theme song from it, and if you could actually get the movie based on the theme song, then you win this controller.
Okay. I already own it, but okay.
Well, great, you can win it back.
Okay.
Okay, it's a nice place to live, but I wouldn't wanna visit such a noise place. Yeah. Nope, nothing.
The Condemned.
No.
What?
Way before that. Way before that.
Way before. And it was a wrestling movie? Or a movie wrestling-ish?
It had wrestlers in it.
Okay, Suburban Commando.
There it is. You got
Alright.
it. It was Suburban
Wow.
Commando.
Alright.
That
I was frozen today.
one of my favorite movies when I was a kid.
I remember that.
Hulk Hogan comes down to Earth as an alien and shenanigans.
Shep
ensue
Ramsey,
and-
right?
Shep
Shep
Ramsey.
Ramsey.
And
Yes.
and the main one of the main villains was
The Undertaker.
Yes,
You're
and
a
he-
dick. Funny odd story. I have Suburban
Hey, wait, let
Commando.
him finish his
Okay,
topic,
sorry.
all right?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, my favorite part is when
Clock never
that my
started.
friend and I always quote when he goes into the store and the woman's picking out melons and he says, well, how do you know which one's good? And she says, well, you give it a little squeeze and when it's a soft one, then you know you got a good one. So he picks it up with one hand and crushes it and the melon explodes all over and he goes, I got a good one. Man, I repeated that line every day for 2 years when I was a child.
Weighing in on this
And
topic
so-
is the distinguished Cruciverbulist from Cruciverbia. Ladies and gentlemen, the icon of lexicon. See, now, all right,
me.
wrestling movies, Lex. Wrestling
All right.
movies.
Well, quickly, my story about Suburban Commando. Funny story. I work at a hotel. It is my day job.
Oh, that is a funny story.
I have Suburban Commando on DVD. I watched it one day just for fun. That night I'm working at the hotel at the front desk. In walks Hogan.
Really?
What?
Yep, in walks Hogan and Brooke Hogan and Hulk Hogan. And I'm like, I just watched Suburban Commando today. I don't think Brooke Hogan had ever seen it. 'Cause
Art Ramos is watching. Hey,
my
my oldest
gracious.
friend in the whole world.
I got to meet a lot of the wrestlers working at the hotel. I got to Roddy Piper came in a few times.
Right after you were watching They Live.
No, but I
No,
was.
he's watching Hell Comes
I
to
actually have a
Frog
story.
There
about-
it is.
I actually do have that on DVD.
What, Hell Comes to Frog Town?
Yes, and I almost worked for Roddy Piper. I'll tell you
Right on.
that story another time. Favorite movie? I gotta say, the movie I would have been if I stayed in,
Yes,
in
Mission Quest
Pennsylvania.
Yes.
If I had stayed in Pennsylvania, I moved out here. I could have been in The Wrestler.
Okay.
Really?
Well, because they used a lot. I was working for AFA as his ring announcer, and at WXW and in Allentown, in Hazleton, and that's where they trained Mickey Rourke for the movie. Strange thing, it was originally supposed to be Nicolas Cage.
That was shortly before I got there because I used to work for WSW, but
Oh.
it was Samu was running it at that time. Alpha
Yeah,
had
I
already
thought I moved to Florida. Yeah,
Rocky Raquel Lowen says Pro Wrestlers versus Zombies. Have any of you seen
I've
that
seen
one?
that, yeah,
I've
it's
actually
weird.
seen that. Oh God, it was terrible.
I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah.
and I will say this:
I think I know what I'm watching
even
now,
though it's a total self wank to Vern Gagne, excuse my mouth.
Oh, the wrestler.
The Wrestler. It was not bad. It's even though it's a total Vern Gagne.
Vern Gagne was. I mean, he makes Donald Trump look like the Dalai Lama. I mean, he is so in love with his own bullshit. I mean, even like I watched Wrestling with Regret the other day, and they talked about the Wrestle Rap, the
Wrestle Rock Rumble,
and he busted out lines. Like he had more lines than anybody in the Wrestle Rock Rumble, and of course, in the lines was like, "I'm thinking about making a comeback at 60-some years old." I'm like, Jesus Christ.
I would say he was great in the ring. He
may have been, but not in his 60s.
But he was also stiff and had less charisma than his son.
Tony Reyes says Slam, the wrestling movie about Mad Dog Joe DiCurso, and or was that Grunt, the wrestling movie? I don't remember what Slam was. That was Grunt, the wrestling movie.
I think Grunt was the wrestling porno.
Was it?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I never saw it.
Peanut Butter Falcon. Yes, okay. So Ronnie K says Peanut Butter Falcon. That was an outstanding movie.
Great movie.
And, you know, the neat thing about that movie was that it didn't it didn't glorify professional wrestling, and at the same time it didn't demean it. You know, it kind of gave it the indie level feel. You know, and
I know not of this film at all.
What? Oh, you haven't heard of Peanut Butter Falcon? It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Yeah, definitely, and it's. Yeah, definitely. Peanut Butter Falcon. Good call there. All right, I'm going to do this. 1 minute with Jonathan Malice. Are you there, Robert? Yeah. I'm going to go with The Condemned. Now, the neat thing about The Condemned is that it was set on an island where Stone Cold Steve Austin was hijacked and sent there, and it was complete pastiche. It was an action film for people who liked action film. It was a wrestling film for people who liked wrestling. It was a statement on the times. This was when we were just starting to get into social networking, and things like MySpace were still the order of the day, and our bloodlust for being able to see things on the internet that the FCC was not covering. And it was kind of a precursor to some of the things that you see, now on the internet. So it was a statement. It was a fun movie. It was, I still don't know why Stone Cold Steve Austin is not a huge star in the movies, and The Rock is. He's every bit as talented, every bit as entertaining, and I just don't understand that. So, The Condemned, for those of you who haven't seen it, The Condemned.
If I could just tack on into that, The Condemned before The Condemned, my non-wrestling movie, Running Man.
Yeah, no, but it didn't have any wrestlers in it.
Jesse Ventura, Toru Tanaka.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. That's right. Toru Tanaka. I forgot about him. Jesse Ventura. Oh, I remember. Tony Reyes is talking about that movie Slam with the Tonga Kid and Captain Lou Albano. Yes, that's
Body Slam.
Body Slam. That's where Face was their manager,
Dirk Benedict,
right?
Yeah.
Dirk Benedict.
That was a fun movie.
That was a cool movie.
Where else can you get Captain Lou Albano fighting with Charles Nelson Riley?
Yes, that's right.
I don't remember this one.
Yeah, it was actually a TV pilot.
When did it come out?
No, that was a different thing. That was a Jesse Ventura, Roddy Piper series.
Oh, you're right.
Body Slam was a movie.
Body Slam was a movie
where Dirk Benedict played Face on the A-Team.
And he was like
a rock and roll promoter.
Yes, and then he lost all his clients, and so he became a pro wrestling promoter. And he promoted Roddy Piper and the Tonga Kid as a tag team and guided them to the championships. Yes, it was an absolutely dreadful film.
But it was a fun movie. It was one of those cheesy fun movies.
Yeah. It was cool. All right, that said, Robert, do you want to weigh in on wrestling movies?
Not really.
Robert says no. He's keeping his family safe from his enemies. Okay, before we go to the next topic, we're going to give Gusten Uberstüd a chance to redeem himself.
Here we go.
With the WWF Royal Rumble.
The Royal Rumble.
Those of you who tuned in last week saw Mikey O'Shea demolish the field and win the Royal Rumble going on. Now, you can go one-on-one, you go tag team, triple tag team, or Royal Rumble. He wants to go straight for the Royal Rumble. He will not be outdone by Mikey O'Shea, one player. Mikey O'Shea went what?
One.
Okay, so
Mikey went one difficulty.
Please. All right, he's going to.
And this is the Genesis version. Mikey was on the...
Oh, the Nintendo. Super Nintendo, that's right. The Underwear Taker.
Crush. Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah, I loved Hacksaw Jim Duggan, especially
in this game.
Yeah.
I guess because he was the first Royal Rumble winner, they made him so hard. If you don't pick him,
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to win.
I remember when he won that first Royal Rumble. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the World Wrestling Federation Royal Rumble, where Hacksaw Gustin Uberstud is in there with Jake the Snake.
No,
Get up.
That's Macho Man.
Is it?
Yeah, that's Macho Man.
See, that's what I thought. And who is that?
Rick
Tino
Martel.
Santana?
That's Rick Martel.
Okay.
There's Razor. Razor just came in.
And Gustin Uberstud is... Or Hacksaw Uberstud. Throws him into the turnbuckle.
I'm trying
Paul
to kick
Stitz
him while
is
he's
watching.
down, but I keep jumping. I think the button that I think is kick is jump.
Yeah, you're gonna have to figure out the buttons out well.
All right, it's a real cluster in the ring.
Sorry.
Hacksaw Gustin Uberstud
I don't know where the kick is. Where's the kick?
doesn't know where the kick is, so he's gonna throw right hands.
Button mash.
Push a different button.
I am.
These two buttons.
I'm pushing all of them.
No, I don't know.
By the stick.
Oh, is it the stick?
I don't know. He's being choked out by Razor.
Let me go.
Boy, Gustin, I don't know what kind of kids you lived on the block with, but if you were the best one on your block with this game,
Oh, Macho Man.
I can see why you moved out here. All right.
Oh, Jim Duggan and Papa Shango locking up.
Oh, it looks like Papa Shango is putting it to Hacksaw Uberstud.
They're grappling for position.
Oh, people getting thrown out
Macho
left
just
and
got
right.
thrown out.
Oh, atomic
And here
drop.
comes Bret the Hitman Hart.
Come on, Papa Shango!
And they're going back and forth.
Struggle.
Oh,
Hacksaw Uberstud whips him to the corner, and then
runs away.
Again with that
he's
time.
He's getting me. No!
Oh,
Body slam from Papa Shango on. Oh, and
but Martel takes over on
is
Shango.
strangling him. This game was so cool.
Oh, I threw Martel out
It's
the ropes.
truly
and he
every
came
man
back
for
and hit
himself,
me
and there's
and
Crush.
Hitman.
Do they have different characters in Sega than they did in?
I think they had a couple different.
Oh, to the top rope.
I don't remember
the top
Papa
It's gonna
rope.
Shango
knock me
being
off.
Jump! There's no one near
There's
you.
no
Jump!
one there. If I jump, I hurt myself. Don't you
Now
know
jump.
how wrestling
Now jump.
works? Oh, come on. I was right on him. How did I miss?
And that's the Undertaker.
Ha ha! Eyeful. Undertaker, take that.
Hacksaw Uberstud locked up with the Undertaker, doing absolutely nothing. Looks like they're frozen in
Oh,
place.
he whips him in the ropes. I know.
Into the corner. Well, at this point, Hacksaw Uberstud has eliminated the exact same number of wrestlers as Mikey O'Shea did last week.
You don't need to eliminate him.
Jamal Bostic is
You only
watching.
need
How
to
you
eliminate
doing?
the last one.
Jamal, good to hear from you.
Oh, did he? Oh, I thought you got rid of Papa.
No.
Isaac
Oh,
Molina is
Christ.
watching. Good to have you, Isaac.
Seems like there's more guys in this one.
Yeah, huh? They're different characters. Yeah, Papa Shango was not in the last one, was he?
No.
All right, let's see. Hacksaw Uberstud still locked up with Papa Shango in Mortal Kombat, and he throws him out of the ring. There we go. He's figured it out. Now get Hulk Hogan out of there. Anytime I see him, I'm dying to see him eliminated.
No way,
Erwin
man.
R. Shyster, otherwise known as
I'm healing this up all the way. I'm hanging out in the corner.
Come
regaining
on,
my health.
Hacksaw
No!
Uberstud. There you go. Get him, Bret Hart.
I was the first one in. If I want to take my time, I'll take my time.
Ah, what a sissy.
Come on, go
You like
after
the
Hogan.
Larry
Go after
Zbyszko
Hogan.
of OCCW now?
Kofi Kingston.
He's Kofi Kingston.
IRS.
There we go. There we go. Oh, get him, Hacksaw Uberstud.
Heartbreak Kid comes in.
No, that's not the Heartbreak Kid.
Yeah.
That is.
Oh, Hogan, leave me alone.
Hogan.
Ah, take that.
Oh, Michaels gets.
I
rid of
still
the
can't
Undertaker.
figure out where the kick button is.
There, get him.
I can't. I can't kick him while he's down if I can't find the kick button.
I think it's an arrow. You need to push the arrow down as you hit the action
Oh,
button.
who just threw Bret Hart into me? Was that Shyster? Come here, Shyster. You're mine. Shyster.
Well, as you can see, Gustin Uberstud, or Hacksaw Uberstud, is hanging tough with this crowd.
Dun, dun, dun,
Michaels?
Dun, dun.
Rocky, if you ever decide,
hanging
if
tough,
they
I
ever
get it,
open
Lex.
up, Rocky, if they ever open up Disneyland again and you decide to bring your family, you guys come see me. I would love to see
No
them.
problem.
Oh,
Hogan's gone.
Hulk Hogan's gone, eliminated by the Heartbeat Break Kid. Oh, and Hacksaw,
He's gonna do it.
jump!
Oh,
Oh, you missed by a mile.
This
Why
is
did
why
you go
you
to the top rope?
don't jump in this
What
game.
the hell are you doing? Uh-oh, don't back down the guy with a clip-on tie. Come on. Oh, you got him.
Eat that.
Oh, pick him up.
3-point
Don't
stance.
you touch him, Bret Hart. That's mine.
Choking him.
There you go.
That's for
Ragdolling
touching my
Bret Hart.
shyster. Don't you ever touch my shyster.
Don't touch his shyster, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, Hacksaw Ubersuit. Eliminate somebody. This is getting to be a bit much.
Don't touch his shysho.
Yeah, don't touch his shyster.
Drop kick. Oh, no.
And Erwin R. Shyster's looking the worst for it. What are you doing? Get somebody and throw him out. Look at that guy's ready to be had.
You sit there and keep cracking your jokes about me. I'm about to win the Royal Rumble.
You're about to put all our viewers to sleep.
Oh.
Corey Cass is watching. How you doing, Corey Cass? Hey, thanks for the nice message you sent me earlier today. We're doing okay. Hope you guys are doing okay.
Michael's got
Oh, ding, ding, ding.
Shawn Michaels eliminates Hacksaw.
So
me.
much
If you'd
for
have let me
King
keep
Duggan.
walking around, I could have regained my health points.
I didn't stop
That's
you.
why
I was
you walk
reading the
around.
comments.
Go get him now. Michael's no, let it play out.
No, don't let it play out.
Michael's
Wants
is
to
gonna
watch-
win.
The winner of the Royal Rumble.
I want to see Shawn Michaels win this Royal Rumble just so I can throw it in your bed.
Sorry, the winner of this Royal Rumble was Barry Horowitz.
Barry Horowitz. All right.
Is that Corey Cass, the MMA Corey Cass?
Yes, the MMA Corey Cass. Actually, yeah.
Jiu-Jitsu Corey Cass.
The Jiu-Jitsu and MMA
Now
Corey Cass.
Shyster's
He was
gonna get
actually
hard
one of
out.
the first WEC champions.
Grappling X.
Grappling X. Yes, Grappling X, Corey Cass.
Throw him out. Heart's
Can't wait
gone.
to see your next tournament when all this locking in place, rocking in place, whatever you socking in place goes away. So
no.
good to hear from you, Corey
That
Cass.
would have been appropriate for it to come down to Sean and Brett, but I guess it's going to be...
Very exciting, yes.
Got it.
All right, our last topic as we are up against the hour. Are you still? Are we still
No,
watching
we're letting this play out.
Oh my God! Erwin R. Shyster versus
Come on, Sean.
Shawn Michaels. No, Shawn Michaels is the most overrated wrestler in the history of overrated
And
wrestlers.
he's about to win the Royal Rumble.
No, sorry. I disagree with you there. I think Goldberg still has that.
No, nobody thinks Goldberg.
If Shawn Michaels wins this, you have to call me. You have to call me your boy toy from now on.
You're my boy toy. You
Yeah,
want me to call you
that's
that?
Oh,
Daggone it.
Erwin wins.
Well, now you're my boy toy.
Mike
How about
Rotundo.
that?
No, Mike Rotundo, the winner. All right. Our last topic is we're up against the hour. Hold on. I want to see if there's anyone. Della O. Renee is watching. Tony Reyes is watching. Johnny Vallis is watching. Let's see. Armando Shore, my old friend, is watching. Nelson Cordero. Let's see. Rachel Stanley is watching.
Isaac Molina.
Right?
All right, then. Hey, Yoga Star, I love you. All right. That said,
You may be his yoga star, but I'm his boy toy.
no, babe, he's not my boy toy, nor will he be my boy toy.
Remember when we used to take our clothes off on
No,
the podcast?
we never took our clothes.
Yes,
you,
we
you
did.
You did, not me. Ladies and gentlemen, our final topic is wrestling biographies. Those of you who've read "Have a Nice Day" or what was The Rock's called? Do you smell what I'm cooking or whatever? The Rock says, yeah. Those were two bestsellers, New York Times bestseller list, number ones. And there have been a slew, a veritable potpourri, a virtual cornucopia of the written word from pro wrestlers. For some reason, people want to read their autobiographies. I've read some very good ones. I read Ric Flair's, which was not very good. It was actually, it seemed really pompous, like, oh, my life was so wild. Wait till you read these stories. And it was like, yeah, oh, I almost killed Eric Bischoff. So, no, there was
I
nothing.
mean, he was kind of known for that kind of over the top, look at me
Sure,
attitude.
but it wasn't. I mean, this book was pretty tame, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
it wasn't
okay.
very good. And then there was the Ted DiBiase one where you thought you were reading a book about wrestling, and it was basically someone trying to convert you. Which has its place, but not like that. The Mankind one was excellent. The Joni Lauer one was excellent. Unfortunately, she wrote it when she was still in her 20s, and that's a sad story. That said, let's get to wrestling biographies. Have you read any wrestling biographies?
No, but I got one signed by one Mick
Gusti
Foley.
Nubusu. Your opinion on wrestling biographies?
I mean, I think it could be a little bit interesting to see. You're talking about the Ted DiBiase one, to see what somebody is like beyond their wrestling, because we know what he was like in wrestling. You know, you talk about like wrestling and say, well, we already saw you wrestle. Like, what else is going on? So I can see how that could be interesting, but I didn't read it, so I don't know. I don't really read a lot of wrestling biographies. I'm more interested in what's going on just on the screen. You know, I'm more interested in watching as a fan rather than, you know, reading stories about, well, when I was on the road and me and this guy drank a bunch of alcohol and bop, 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 bop. It's like, yeah, okay, like that's cool, but I don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe I'm supposed to study these things more, but I'm gonna probably watch a documentary before I'm gonna read a biography. I did get one signed by Mick Foley because I was actually running camera for a news outlet before I ever got into wrestling.
Really?
And he was coming to do a signing at a Borders near where I worked, and I said, let me take the story. And they were like, well, we don't know. I said, let me take the story.
Yeah, right.
And they did, and I got to go interview Mick Foley and got my book signed. And very shortly after that, I signed up after talking to him. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was one of the, you know, a couple things that he said made me think, you know, this is. It was always something I was interested in and wanted to try, but I think it was after talking to him that was like, I'm actually going to try.
Yeah, you know, Mick Foley. You know, I have yet to hear a bad word spoken by, you know, people that have come in contact with him. I mean, you always hear these wrestling interviews where, you know, oh, he was just a glorified stuntman or whatever. But you know that. But like, I've talked to several people who've actually met him, and every time they say he was really cool and he really had some really nice things to say.
Well, I'll tell you, he was one of the first title holders of the NWL, and I went through the NWL and actually held that title for a while myself. So that was kind of cool to be able to say, well, I held a title that Mick Foley held.
Yeah.
So I went to one of his shows. He does stand-up. I went to one of his shows a couple years ago in Pasadena, and I got a chance to meet him, and I told him, I was like, you know, we both held the same title, the NWL title. I'm thinking I'm all proud, like, look at me, I'm on your level, and he could not have been less interested. Wasn't mean about it, wasn't mean. He was nice, but you know, he just kind of went, NWL champion, and then just went right back on about his business.
He probably doesn't remember it.
Okay.
All right on. Okay, let's see. Let's read a few more comments. Have a nice day in China's. Yeah, okay. Rocky says that China got shafted, period, and deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
In more ways than one.
She got shafted a few times. Yeah. You know what? And I think, you know, the interesting argument about China not being in the Hall of Fame is like if you look up WWE's China or WWF's China, it's going to take you straight to a porn site. You know what I mean? So I can see them trying to distance themselves as much as they can. Wrestling biographies. For his opinion, we go to Lex Icon.
Well, I have quite a few. I've read quite a few. I think my favorite happened a few years ago when I went to Cauliflower Alley Club, like I was mentioning earlier. I got to meet J.J. Dillon, legendary manager of the Four Horsemen, and his book, it was called Are Wrestlers Like Seagulls or something to that effect. Interesting. I bought the book. He signed it for me, and he literally said to me, I want you to read the book. If you like the book, keep the book. Great. If you don't like the book, bring it back next year, and I will give you your money back. He literally said that to me.
Really?
I read the book. I would never ask for my money back. That was a phenomenal book.
Do you still have it?
I do.
When I give you your Captain Power DVDs back, I'd like to borrow it.
Well, I could always. We were talking possibly about a segment.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. We'll get to that. Yeah, wrestling biographies.
Yeah.
How many of you think we should do a wrestling biography segment wherein every week Lex Icon reads a wrestling biography and then he comes and reviews it on the show? Raise your hand.
Lex's library.
How about a little reading? He could give us a little piece of something.
How about all of you out
I'll
there?
bring the books.
Out there in the Omniverse. How many of you? Raise your hand. It's all of them. There's quite a few of them.
50 hands went right up.
50 hands went straight up. All right, you got it.
All with gloves on.
Starting next week, we will have wrestling biographies, wrestling lexicon with Lex Icon. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for tuning into the Royal Ramble. We want to. I'm going to have a word with you, mister, so don't you go anywhere. We know that you have several choices for your viewing pleasure, and we know that this is the age of binge watching. So those of you who took time away from your binge watching to join us on the Royal Ramble, I want to thank you. I want to say thank you to all the people who I haven't talked to in eons. People like Rocky, people like Dustin Lawyer, people like, well, Art Ramos, I saw him today. Let's see, like Jamal Bostic, Johnny Vallis, Armando Shore. Let's see. I want to tell you all thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you again real soon. I hope you're getting well. I hope that everything opens up, and I hope that you take all of your bumps in the ring.